Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the meeting of the Business Rates Pool Joint Committee. Do we need to elect a chair first, Helen, please? Do we need to do that formally?
Yes, please, members. If you'd like to formally elect a chair from amongst yourselves, thank you. That's Councillor Lewis nominated. Do I see a seconder? Thank you very much, members. So Councillor Lewis is elected as chair.
Great, thank you. I'll just thank everybody for that huge vote of confidence, but I won't make a longer speech than that about it. I'll just move through the formal items at the top. Are there any appeals against refusal of inspection of documents, please?
There's no appeals, Chair.
Okay. Are there any exempt information, please?
The agenda contains no exempt information.
Thank you. Are there any late items?
We've received no late items of business.
Thank you. And I'll ask members of the committee if there's any declarations of interest, please. Okay. Are there any apologies, please, Helen?
Thank you, Chair. We do have a number of apologies. Apologies recorded from Councillor Hinchcliffe and Andrew Cross here is representing the Bradford Authority. Councillor Scott sent her apologies and Councillor Paul Davies is here. Councillor Scullion has sent her apologies and Councillor Dacre is here. And Councillor Jeffrey has sent her apologies. And we have Mr Heppenstall from Wakefield Authority. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd again turn to members. Is everybody happy with the minutes of the last meeting, please? Take that everybody's in agreement. Okay, that brings us on to item 7. And Victoria, you're going to introduce this, please.
Yes, thank you, Chair. This is an update report on the 23-24 and the 24-25 business rates pool. The contents of the report reminds members around how the pool was set up for 23-24 and provides the latest income projections for 23-24. It also includes a proposed allocation of the funding for that year and then a forecast of the levy payments and distribution estimates for the pool for 24-25 financial year. There's also a recommendation regarding the distribution of funds for the 23-24 pool and also for 24-25. And this is due to the timeliness of audits and the potential around the external auditors not issuing unqualified accounts due to the backstop dates that are being proposed and consulted on at the moment by central government. And therefore, there is a recommendation that is delegated to myself as Chief Financial Officer at Leeds City Council in consultation with the other Section 151 officers that we distribute surpluses for 23-24 once we've had reasonable assurance that the NNDR3s show a true and fair view of the position. And also if once those returns are audited, that if there was any differences that we would be able to recuperate and redistribute those funds. So just going on to looking at 23-24, there is a risk in the pools that we've known about and had an understanding around if any of the authorities went into a safety net position. At the moment, it's looking like no local authorities, although some are close, but none would be in the position where they're forecasting to breach that safety net position. If they did breach it, then the first call on the pool would be to pay that safety net to that authority. And if there wasn't enough in the pool to be able to do that, then each authority would need to contribute towards that. But as I say, at the moment, there's no authority forecasting to breach that position. For 23-24, the projected position is that there would be 3.4 million for distribution, and that is shown, the distribution would be shown as per table 3. And then the forecast for the pool that we're going into at the moment is that there would be an estimated distribution of 3.65 million, and that's contained in table 4. And I think those are the main points from the report, Chair. Thank you.
Thanks, Victoria. Are there any questions and comments from the committee, please? Claire, please.
Thank you. Just a question. How regularly are you keeping an eye on the authorities going close to safety net? How regularly do we update that knowledge?
We ask for an update on
Every quarter.
every quarter, but that's for all authorities on forecasting where we are on that position.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more? Yes, yes, please, Paul.
I think my main concerns are around the audit implications for the historic pool, regarding, as we still haven't had an audit for 21-22, and then there's 22-23 with the backstop coming up. We talk here about needing to change our governance procedures. I think, I don't know where everybody is in the pool, and I think we need to probably have a bit more of a discussion about that.
That unfortunately doesn't come in under the remit of this pool, because the pools for 21, 22 and 22, 23 came under the previous administration of the pool. So what we will have to do is go through the normal governance arrangements. So it's not changing the arrangements. It's just that for each authority, it'll have to go through their governance arrangements, so that we get agreement from each of the authorities that we can distribute based on a true and fair view of the NNDR3 for those years, for those authorities where the audits won't be complete, and the external auditors will give an opinion based on the audit work that they've undertaken at the moment, which might be a disclaimer or a modified opinion. But we will have to write to each of the authorities and ask them to give approval that we can distribute on that basis.
Thank you.
Oh, can I?
Yes, please,
Oh,
Paul.
sorry.
Come in again if you want.
Sorry. Obviously, we feel that there's going to be implications for this year's pool, 23-24, in that 22-23. What we sort of understand at the present moment is that the 22-23 audit will not be done. That will give rise to opening balances being disclaimed by our new auditors for 23-24. So they're sort of saying to us now that will carry a disclaimer already. So I'm just thinking, do we need to, for 23-24, the pool that we're in now, is now the time to talk about how we're going to audit them, or is that something we talk about in subsequent periods?
So for both 21-22 and 22-23, if the audits aren't completed by the 30th of September, then they won't be completed, because that's the backstop date. The audit firms will issue a disclaimer to say that they haven't audited them. So at that point, for those authorities who fall into that group, we will need to write to all authorities and to say that the information that we've got based on those 2 years is to get assurance from their Section 151 officer that it has a true and fair representation of their NNDR3 at that point, and then to get agreement by all the members of the pool, which would include Harrogate, that they are okay with us distributing on the basis of that true and fair view of the NNDR3s at that point. And once we've got that agreement, then we'll distribute on that basis. We haven't got any other option really, because we won't get audited positions. For 23-24, that's why in this report we've asked for the delegation to the Section 151 officers and myself, so in consultation with the Section 151 officers at the other authorities, to agree the position and then to distribute on that basis, with the understanding that if subsequently the NNDR3s are then subsequently audited and for 23-24 and the position is different, that we can, if there has been an over distribution, we can recuperate that funds. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more questions, comments, please? In that case, I'm going to turn to the recommendations at the end of item 7 on page 16 over 17, and I will just see, is everybody happy with those? That's great. I'll take that as a assent from the committee, and thank you, everybody, and I'll close the meeting.